Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Why People Do What They Do, where we speak to accomplished and talented individuals from various fields. Today, I'm happy to have Faxco founder and CEO of solar energy company Plus Solar. Fax, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hi, Jacqueline. I'm good here.
Yeah.
How about you?
Thanks for being on the show. I'm good. Thank you. Just enjoying our weekend and I'm just looking forward to the weekend. So, yeah. But thank you so much. You are the highlight of our weekend. Tell us what Plus Solar does, Fax, and what sparked the idea to start this company.
Okay. Plus Solar, we are a clean energy company
Mhm.
that we very focus in provide like the solar power plant that we built about 6 different solar power plant in Malaysia in the past. At the same time, we also convert a lot of building in Malaysia, especially commercial and also industrial building into solar power building. And at the same time, right now, we also try to digitalize the solar energy and also the energy platform, the energy management platform. So what Plus Solar is doing right now is I would like to say that we are creating an ecosystem, which including from hardware infrastructures until the software to provide to change the way of how people use the energy, and we would like to create the energy revolution. So how does idea get started? I would say is mainly in about 13 years back. Is when I traveled to Taiwan for my internship. That time I was just a final year student who don't really like engineering, but I found solar energy in my final year project and I love it a lot. So in Taiwan, I found that's a trend. Yeah, that's a trend about renewable energy, especially in solar technology in the future. So I know that's something which I would like to do it. Yeah.
Okay. So I've got to ask, right? When did you realize that engineering was not the course for you? Why did you take engineering in the first place? Was it um, pressure from or encouragement rather from family?
Hmm.
And how what was that moment when you decided that solar is actually the way forward? Because I think we spoke about this briefly the other day. You know, when people have the foresight to kind of really predict or bank on a prediction or a forecast, that's really a skill in and of itself. So how did you realize then that solar was the way forward for you and it was the right path and engineering wasn't?
Okay, great. Very good question. So the first thing is about when did I find out I don't really like engineering, right? And
You took
what I
chemical engineering,
electrical
electrical
engineering.
engineering. Okay.
Yeah. Because I was a science stream student in Malaysia. A lot of us usually, I mean, it's a kind of culture in Malaysia. Typically,
Same
people
here.
they,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Same.
we all were taught that in science stream, usually you will be much better. And actually, I'm good in maths and I like physics. So,
Good for you.
I yeah, and I always make a joke that in my time, that time, yeah, I think in 2000. Oh no, that's about yeah, I think it's about year 2003. I mean that time the
Okay.
whole world only had four jobs, which is a doctor, lawyer, accountant, and also engineers. Yeah. So if let's say you are good in maths, then you will go for engineering. So that's the reason why I enrolled as a engineering students in many years back.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, I mean, I do have my own imagination about engineering, but the fact and the reality is when I look into the textbook, everything seems like it doesn't really spark my interest. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
think for me it's a bit too boring there. So actually that time I spent a lot of my time as a student leader to do a lot of student activity out there in my university. Until I would say the final year, I told myself that okay, I cannot tahan already. I mean, I couldn't be like that. It seems like quite bad. I did really do my own effort and put all my effort in my
Mm-hmm.
academic study. That's why I know about my strength. Just like you mentioned about the foresight, yeah, this is something that I really think about and also do a lot of self-reflection that time when I
Okay.
wrote my own CV. And I found out that it seems like if let's say I need to move forward as an engineering student, I need to do something which is new because I did join some of this business seminar during my uni time, and in one of seminar they talk about as long as you are able to capture the future trend, then you have a chances to create something really impactful. And then they share the story about the industrial revolution 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, and how Bill Gates and Steve Jobs they all managed to capture the the personal computers, the the electronics computers
Mm,
trend, and especially like Facebook, Google's. So this is all the trend. So that time, anyway, that time still Yahoo era. Yeah, it's not Google is not really there yet. So I just asked myself that what would be the next thing is something which is very interesting that I shall pick up the skill. So during my final year project, there's a lot of lists, and I just go through all the different subject, and I found out there's one very interesting topic, and this topic is talking about I need to create a solution to lower down the car temperature when our car park under the hot sun with renewable energy. So
okay.
it's a kind of topic that is a kind of commit suicide kind of topic because no one will take that topic for the final year project,
Mm.
and
So
seems very tough.
it wasn't a definite A lah. It wasn't like something that you would ace, but you just wanted that
Exactly.
challenge. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And let's talk about renewable energy. And I know that's a future. That's the reason why, how I took it. And I found out I love the technology. Then
Mm,
the next thing is something which I believe on the law of attraction as well. I just
mm,
arranged to Taiwan to have this internship. And I just told myself, like, but what it would be really great if I will be able to learn a lot of renewable energy, especially solar technology in Taiwan, because that
mm.
was in 2007,
Yeah.
and Taiwan, a lot of technology is really much ahead than Malaysia. And in Malaysia, actually, I was struggling because in the whole library, I couldn't really get a lot of information about the solar technology. And my lecturers is very supportive, very helpful, but he also helped me to find around in the whole Malaysia which are the lecturer who have this study about renewable energy. In my final
Wow.
project, I don't have my own solar panel. I need to go around and also to borrow solar panel from UKM, from one of this lecturer from UKM. Yeah, so there's a era of in Malaysia at that time. So when I went to Taiwan, and the whole environment are very different from Malaysia in terms of resources, in terms of knowledge, and I joined a lot of this conference. So from conference, what I found out is the technology of this solar is pretty matured, and I read a lot of investment book as well. And that time I read come across one book is talk about the green investment, and they mentioned that like investment company like or banker like Standard Chartered, Goldman Sachs, actually they've already stopped a lot of financing for the coal-fired power plant and all switch into renewable energy. So because of all this fact finding and also the environment which I involved, so I feel it, I sense it, and I analyze it based on my, all type of analysis. So I know this is a trend, and I would like to move ahead. Yeah, but that time
How was
Malaysia has
the
nothing at all.
Yeah, so from my understanding and this conversation so far, right, it was very difficult for you to find the resources available. Did you
Exactly.
manage to have conversations with people in the industry? How was the conversation like also with family and friends? Did they understand what you were embarking on?
I would say yes, and I would say yeah, definitely my family they always support me.
Mm,
Friends definitely they will support. However, usually they will come with some doubt. Are you sure? Is this
yeah.
something really going on, like solar panel? Because I have decided I want to spend most of my time in my career after I know about solar and also clean energy is something which I want to go ahead. However, then they will ask, "Are you sure solar? Because solar technology seems like in Malaysia is something like parking lot. You have solar panel there, street light, solar panel. So you want to do that kind of things." Yeah, I would say the environment is very different. But I quite appreciate my experience in Taiwan because the
Yeah.
similar story, very similar as how Jack Ma found out internet in US. And then when he back to this China, he said he want to build an internet company. My situation is, yeah, I found this clean energy in Taiwan. So when I back to Malaysia, I told myself that okay, I should do something. So that's why traveling is very important. Yeah,
How long were you in Taiwan for?
actually just about 4 months, just four
Okay.
months. Yeah, it's not very long.
I,
Yeah.
I also read about that time. I think you were coming back from Taiwan, was it?
Hmm.
You were on
Hmm.
the plane and then you looked down from the airplane window and you saw empty roofs. Tell us about that.
Exactly.
Tell us
Oh
about that
yeah,
experience.
yeah. That's a very important moment in my life, which actually I decided, but I somehow still have some doubt whether can this
Mm,
industry really move in Malaysia. So all the way, back to KL, Sepang, and I look out to the window, and I found all the roof in Malaysia is all naked. So I just told myself that it would be great if one day I'm able to change all the roof into solar power roof. And there's a huge potential there because all the roof are naked. So that's
Mm.
where the moment which I plant the seed that, okay, someday I'm going to do this. I'm going to change most of the roof in Malaysia and also probably in South Asia into solar power. Yeah.
So after your internship facts,
Mhm.
you were then working for a company after that in renewable energy.
Oh yeah, because after my internship, I started to plan because I'm a person who like
Mm,
to plan ahead,
mm,
for my own life and also for my own career.
mm.
So I just asked myself, let's say one day I would like to start my own business, or if I want to become the CEO of a clean energy company, so what should I
So you
do?
always had that plan in mind. That was your end
Exactly.
goal.
Exactly.
Okay.
I always have a plan and
Mm,
also
mm,
start with end in mind as well. So
mm,
I just look around and I know that, yeah, actually, I try to look for a job in solar company in Malaysia at that time. And it's quite tough because Malaysia, the market is not there at all. Yeah. So it's quite struggling. So I think I spent a couple of months to look for a job until I come across with a job opportunity in a Japanese solar company. So I just go ahead and get it. Yeah,
mm,
so in that company, I was their first engineer in Malaysia. I mean, in Malaysia, who cover for the whole Asia Pacific, Middle East, and also South Africa region. And I need to travel around to build solar power plant around the world. So I traveled to about 12 over country, 20 over city that time. In that 3 years, to do a lot of different solar power plants development project across the whole world, but not really in Malaysia at that time. Yeah,
mm,
so that's where I built my own technical knowledge, my business knowledge, and a lot of different knowledge from that company because I told myself that it will be very important. If let's say I want to start something big, I should learn from the giant. So my company at the time, the Japanese company, was the world largest solar panels manufacturers.
mm.
Their name is Sharp. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's that Japanese company. So I learned a lot from all the
Mm,
Japanese and I travel with a lot of different people. Yeah, that's how I really get a lot of great experience at time. Yeah, then after that, I would like to start a business soon. However, I found out I do have a lot of network globally, but I don't really have too much network in Malaysia. Yeah, that's why after that I spent about 1 year to join a Germany solar company.
okay.
It's a listed company as well. I'm also their first person in Malaysia, help them to set up the whole office.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to buy furniture for the office as well. That's, yeah, it's kind of a startup kind of experience for them. Yeah, so I built a lot of this network. Yeah, until end of the year, and Malaysia. Yeah, that's the moment when Malaysia is going to start a feed-in tariff policy.
Okay.
And two of my friends, one is my high school friend, Ryan
Mm.
O, and also the other one is my uni friend, Paul Ting Hui. He's from Penang as well.
Oh,
So
yay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So both of them actually, I would say they come across and then we talk about this at the same time. So we say, why don't
Mm.
we start something together? And that's how we started business in 2012.
Were your two friends also into solar energy, into the same space that you were in? Or they were from different industries and you roped them into the same space?
Yeah, different industry. Yeah, from different
Oh,
industry.
what
But
was
three
it
of us.
difficult? Was it
Uh,
difficult to convince them?
okay, very interesting. So both of them, they have a very different characters. Yeah, I mean, three of us, we are engineers as well. We are all from engineering
Mm,
background. So
okay.
Ryan, oh, he's my high school friend. So I used to talk about this solar idea with him after I joined solar industry, and when I travel around, especially when I went to Melbourne, I will find a, yeah, I mean, in this Australia, usually I will find a time to catch up with him during the weekend to talk about my plan and also solar industry outlook. Yeah, you should look into this, especially
Mm,
in Melbourne, Australia is really good. But he's kind of person that, okay, let's see. Yeah, he's good in programming. He's good in technology, this
right.
software type of things. Yeah, so I think he wait until 2000, end of 2011. Then he only told me that he want to come back and start a business together. However, my the other friend, Paul, actually, we just spoke for, I think, in a dinner we spoke about this, and then the next week he come up with a proposal very fast, and then he said, "I'm on,
Wow.
I'm in." Yeah, so very different character, and he's from engineering background as well. After that, he become a banker in a Maybank. Yeah, so these two timing, I think, is kind of the arrangement, really coincidentally. So I say, okay,
Mm,
since one person would like to come back from Australia and you would like to start together, so why don't I, three of us would let's start something together at the same time. It's always the
mm.
right timing. Yeah, it's always the
So
right timing and also right
yeah.
nourishment. Yeah,
So it is a confluence of the right timing and also the right opportunities that present itself, right? They
exactly.
always say when you start a business, do it for the long term and also get into partnerships and collaborations with
Mhm.
the right partners who are in it for the long term. Um, how was it like for you and your two co-founders, right? To have and sync up on the right same, you know, the right wavelength and have the right vision for the company. How was it like for you guys in the early days?
Okay, I say in the early days, it's just purely that we want to do something there. We are thinking of how to survive. That's the main priority for us. Can
Mm,
this business really start? Can we really get project? Can we really survive for the first year? Yeah, that's our main
mhm.
concern actually.
Was there capital funding from your end?
Oh
Was it
yeah,
easy to get investors as well?
yeah. Actually, the time we come our own funding. So that's my
Mm,
marriage fund, which
wow.
I always just talk about this, and I just told my girlfriend at the time, which is my wife today, that okay, please, Sabah, just wait a while. Yeah, I hope I can success and this all the funding. I will make sure I'm going to get a return for it.
What
So
did she say at that time?
yeah, she say yeah, just go ahead, whatever you want. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, she's quite supportive. Yeah, she's very
Yeah.
supportive. Yeah.
And
So
congratulations, you recently celebrated your anniversary. So happy belated anniversary to you and your wife.
yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. So that's how we come out our own fund, and we started a business at the first year. I would say
Mm,
is is it's always good for us to have some tests and also to feel it, because I will always encourage the entrepreneur to come our own funding. Then you will
okay.
treat this business as, I mean, you will have some sort of this commitment. Yeah, it will be
And
very important.
accountability. Yeah, and
Exactly.
accountability. Mm,
Exactly. So after you have all those suffer and you have feel the pain, then you really you will gain from that. So
mm,
about the just so you mentioned about how we all sing together, I would say three of us we have a very different strength. So each of us we have different strength. So that time I'm really good in this engineering about solar energy,
mm,
and my Ryan he's good in this software. Yeah,
okay.
and this is why today we are doing this smart energy solution. Yeah, it's because of him. And
Mm,
Paul actually he's good in finance that time. He's an engineer as well. He's like hybrid. He's good in engineering. Yeah,
and
but
finance.
not in this energy, but he's picking up very fast. And yeah, he's from banking industry, so he know
Mm,
about finance part. So when we start a business, we need to leverage on each other's strength to talk about the project and to talk about technology at the same time. We have to get financing for that. So that's how we all work closely together. Yeah.
what were the lessons that you learned early on during the conception of the business
Mhm.
that you still subscribe to through to this day?
Okay, wow, the lesson which I learned, I would say is um first of all, I will say start with the end in mind is very important. Because when we started a business, actually we have already come out some of the strategy for us that it by I mean in the future what kind of company that we want to create. And then I would say that three of us we are quite aligned that uh, we want to create a company that bring a lot of impact to the community, yeah, in energy community, and also to the people, which is the employee as well. So this is something that sync us up. And I would say this kind of realization actually is not just a moment, a aha moment. It's a through a lot of series kind of the process, and we have a lot of talk to each other, and then we find out if we do something right. I mean, the return of the finance part is always a byproduct, but the purpose and also the mission is very important. So this is how this shaped our company to become a purpose and also the mission driven company. That
Mm,
for all the new joiner in the company, I will have a session with them to talk about what's company story, what's our vision, and what's our missions. Yeah, it's something that as a northern star that guide us of the future directions. So I would say, yeah, this is one of those realization that we gained along the way when we started the business.
and you're still doing it today.
Oh yeah. It's very important, especially somehow throughout the whole journey, we will get tired. Yeah, we will
Mm,
get overwhelmed as well. But
Mm,
when we look into the vision and the mission which we set during day one, it's something that really drive us to move forward. Yeah.
mm. I love that. I love how you talk about, having that mission, having that Northern Star to guide you, and then
Mm,
reverse engineering it to kind of inform every decision that you make as a company. I love that. Um, I'd like to talk about risk appetite. So while you have, your purpose and your vision, right, and your mission for the company, I'd like to talk also about risk appetite. When you decided, facts, after working for a few years, when you decided to strike out on your own and start the business with both Paul and Ryan, how much risk in hindsight now, after years of running the business, how much risk do you think you were taking at that time? You guys were all in your
mm.
20s. Do you think that because you were young, you were fearless, and do you think that the ability to take risk also is part of your upbringing as well? Have you always been a person who is capable of taking risk?
Yeah, I think that years, that time is really. I'm a person who will take I mean the risk which I can able to calculate it. That's the reason why I
Mm,
spent 4 years in a different company to learn about with a different experience. So, however, that time is really that, yeah, it's somehow I need some pull and also the pull factors for me to, okay, let's go for that. I would say it was
right.
something that pushed us. I mean, something that pulled me is actually that time Steve Jobs he passed away in 2011. I think somehow in this autumn. Yeah, I mean that season in 2011. So when I read all of his life story, I just asked myself that, what can I do? I mean, what sort of legacy which I can leave if let's say one
Mm,
day I'm not around. So it's sort
right.
of a story that really inspired me. Would like to move forward as an entrepreneur. And the other one is really my partners Ryan and Paul. The other ones, hey, let's do this, let's do this together. So it's kind of those yeah, just like someone who like to it's you do have partner like a team that
Mm,
let's go for a fight, let's fight for that.
mm,
So that time, yeah, we all are really at this right momentum. So we just say, okay, let's go ahead for that. And I think the most important thing is exactly is what you mentioned. We have nothing to lose. We have nothing to lose at all that time. I just ask myself, like, what would be the worst case? That's all. I mean, if let's say I really can't really work these things out, then I can just back to the workplace as well. I mean,
mm.
as an
At
employee, I
least
have
you
nothing to
tried.
lose.
Was that your mindset as well? That
Exactly,
at
exactly,
least you tried. Yeah, get
exactly.
it
So
out
I
of your
have no
system.
regret.
No regrets.
Yes, yes. Just
Yeah.
try. Yeah.
Would you say that the country, Malaysia, was in tune with clean energy then? Do you think that people understood the concept? Um, at that time, years ago, people understood, for me, as I understand it, people knew that there is a concept of sustainability. Green technology is something of the future, but that was about it. People knew that it was of the future, but people didn't know how to embrace it in their everyday lives. Do you think Malaysia at that time was jumping on the bandwagon of renewable energy, clean energy, the same way that Taiwan was at the stage it was in at that time?
Hmm. I would say, yeah, there's a lot of this gap in terms
Mm,
of going to sustainability, especially in South Asia or probably the whole Asia region. When people look into sustainability, they will always think of what can I gain over there. It's a very
mm,
different mindset. I would say it's very practical, and that's why it is quite tough. I would say at first, if let's say we don't have a feed-in tariff policy, so
yeah.
feed-in tariff policy actually is a policy that started in Germany in year 2000 something, early of 2000 something. So it's a kind of policy that they are able to link renewable energy as an investment that you were able to
Okay.
gain from this renewable energy investment. So that time actually when we go out and also to sell the idea to people, it's always about the investment, then only we talk about sustainability. Yeah, that's what
Okay.
happened at the time. So through the whole years, right? Actually, a lot of people they started to gain and also to have a lot of benefit by investing in renewable energy. And think that then started to have a lot of all this awareness in the past few years. I would say right now it's much better than before. People they really embrace sustainability in their corporate DNA, which I come across with a lot of great company. They really put this as one of their missions. It could be one of their value as well, or let's say the CSR initiative. Yeah. So definitely people will still look into the ROI, which is the payback period for solar investment.
Mm,
What will be the return for it? But at the same time, I would say the sustainability is really there, which is the mindset of people has changed a lot. Especially I come across with a lot of young generation.
yeah.
Yeah, probably like our age. I would say sustainability is always one of the key priority for them. And I come across with a lot of those really successful entrepreneur, which is experienced entrepreneur, who are
Mm,
the founder as well, like probably their age are 40, 50 or 60 something. I would say
okay.
throughout the whole years of their entrepreneur journey, right, they also look into sustainability. Yeah. So I would say right now the whole awareness about sustainability is really there in Malaysia. It compared with 8 years back.
Debunk the myth for us. Is installing solar panels
Mhm.
and embracing solar energy, is it heavy on the wallet? Is it going to break the bank? Do people have to come up with heavy upfront costs?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Right now actually is much affordable. I would say
Mm,
solar energy, right? I think in more than 60 over country is the cheapest energy. So in Malaysia, actually the solar energy in terms of a price and also the investment itself is also very affordable. Just to
mm,
give you some idea, if let's say for a house, right now I would say probably about 10 over thousand, 15,000 something, or 20 over thousand, then you are able to have a solar system for you, and you are able to get financing from bank. So right now we are
mm.
working with some of the bank which they come up for the credit card service, and then you can just
Oh.
subscribe with credit card for a few years, then every month you probably just pay for 600, 800, 900. I mean, just something like how you serve your car loan, and you're able
Mm,
to own a solar system. So the
mm,
solar panel at your house, right, you're able to probably the payback period about 5 years or 6 years.
mm,
So which means from 6 years onward up to 25 years, because the solar system life cycle is about 25 years, it will be a free energy. Yeah,
mm.
so
I
that's
don't
for
think many
individual.
people know that. Yeah.
Yeah. I think right now started to have people are aware about this, but we need to do more this publicity to bring out the awareness. So today, this session is really a great session for us to share with a lot of people out there. So for company, actually we have a lot of businesses, especially though for those commercial and also industrial building to go for
Mm,
solar. And their payback period, I would say, is even faster, just about like 2 years plus or 3 years. They were able to reach their break even. So which
mm,
means on third year onwards, up to 25th year, it will be free energy for them. And for a lot of business out there, especially those manufacturing plant, um, electricity cost is always their top three expenses in their company P&L. So right now,
mm,
during the pandemic situation, we can't really control our revenue, which is the top line. But what we can do as a business owner, or let's say the professional manager, is we can control the bottom line. So electricity is always one of huge expenses. So solar system, solar energy there, yeah, I mean, just like what I shared with you, on third year onward, it will be free energy. It's something really good for them, for everyone. Yeah, so I would say right now, because of solar is really affordable, so we have a lot of inquiry, even though right now it's after, I mean, it's kind of a tough year for everyone. Yeah, because we do have a different model. If let's say you want to own a solar system, we will help you to facilitate the loan with a bank. A lot of banks that are really supportive, and we are working with more than five different banks, local bank and also overseas bank, to provide financing to all the business owner there. Yeah, at the same time, if let's say they don't want to come with their own money to own a solar system, yeah, we will have this we call this as a OPEX model, which we will come out a fund for them, and then they just subscribe the lower electricity from us.
mm.
Just like instead of subscribe with TNB, they subscribe with first, they will have maybe like more than 20-30% cheaper than what they subscribe with TNB. Yeah, so this is a two different model, the CapEx option and also the OpEx option that we offer to our clients there.
Okay, so Plus Solar is providing the end-to-end solution for customers. Not only do you
Yes.
install solar panels and develop solar farms for
Mm.
for commercial and industrial companies, but you are also helping clients to also advise on the financing of their solar systems.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, is this something that you got and you embraced from um, before the conception and development of Plus Solar? You had a consulting business, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's something that you embrace from that, the end-to-end solutions.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm. What do you enjoy most about this job facts?
You mean about this job as an entrepreneur?
Yes, the most satisfying aspect of the job as an entrepreneur and also
Mhm.
to be in this renewable energy space in this day and age.
Okay.
Mm,
I would say the first thing is about the impact that we are able to create to the community.
mm,
So there are three different impact that we are quite focused. First is definitely for all the energy user there.
yeah.
So like changing more roof into solar power from naked roof into solar power roof is something that I really feel a lot of fulfillment that we are able to impact a lot of people to go for solar. And then the second thing will be the people in the company because our company actually we grow when we just 3 to 4 of us when we started the
Mm,
business at the first year. So right now we have about 150 different people.
wow.
So along the way, which I made a lot of great colleagues. Some of them they are still in the company. Some of them they might leave the company,
Mm,
but all this friendship and also I mean the personal relationship which I able to witness how they grow in the company is something I feel a lot of fulfillment along the journey. Yeah,
mm,
it's something always great that we are able to create a lot of great moments with the people surround us, especially I mean in a company as a workplace, right?
yeah.
So the third one will be the CSR services. Yeah, because as I shared before that in my uni time, it's quite difficult for me to get a lot of knowledge about solar knowledge and a solar panel, something like that. So when we started the business, I would say at the first year onwards, actually we started a CSR arm called Plus Solar Academy. And this Plus Solar Academy actually is aimed to provide free engineering workshop to the students because there's always a gap between the academic syllabus and also the industrial knowledge.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we would like to fill the gap. So we do a lot of these different free workshop about
Mm,
career, about the engineering workshop, like internship as well. I think there's more than 3,500 over different students join our program since day one, and they are from a student from different university across the whole world, from US, from UK, Australia, Malaysia, from China as well.
wow.
So all this influence, I would say, is a kind of seed that we plant to the next generation,
Mm,
which somehow someday they might plant, or probably they will plant the seed to other people as what they um, gain from outside. So this is a kind of those fulfillment along the whole entrepreneur journey, I would say.
mm. How has the reception been like for students and their perception towards renewable energy? Do they mostly come from engineering backgrounds like yourself, or do they come from a diverse set of faculties and courses?
hmm I would say the majority definitely is still from engineering. Yeah,
Mm,
so a lot of them actually they will also they will look into what is the next trend, and clean energy is a kind of buzzword today. So
yeah,
beside AI, IoT, then definitely they will look into clean energy.
yeah.
So definitely it's from them. However, we also do like career path, this kind of the conference and the workshop to the student from different faculty, like from banking,
Mm,
accounting, or this finance or marketing, because maybe someday in I mean let's say they become a banker, so at least they know what's
mm,
happening in clean energy industry, so they know how to finance it. Yeah.
mm. And
So
you
actually
got
we
that
open up.
idea from Poe, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think what people are slowly realizing as well is that sustainability that used to be a buzzword, right now it is equals to resilience when it comes to the running of your company, right? um, and throughout the 8 years that you 8 years, right, 8 years that
Yes.
you ran your company with both your co-founders facts, you seem like the sort of guy also that constantly pivots, constantly innovates as well, to meet the demands of clients and customers. Tell us about this new product that Plus Solar is providing, where you are empowering customers to take control of their energy usage. I think it was the
Mm,
digitalization aspect.
yeah.
Mm,
Actually, yeah, as I say, Ryan, he's a good in this technology and the software. Just when we started, actually, the timing is not so right for, I mean, for this AI and also the IoT technology there yet.
mm,
However, I would say this is something that we have reset our goal and also direction to work towards to that directions. So I would say there are One day actually is I still remember it's a night time because I'm a person who like those smartwatch, same as Ryan.
Yeah.
So we just chat with each other, and then we just say that okay, it seems like this smartwatch is going to capture our heartbeat, help us to analyze our this health condition. It would be great if let's say we can doing something similar for energy for building.
Mm,
So we would like to come out this Fitbit model for this software business for energy industry, which is we are going to install the smart meter, just like the smartwatch, and also the smart energy monitoring platform, which is going to capture all of the energy consumption of the building. So after we have all the energy data, it's just like the heartbeat data, which captured by our smartwatch. Then we're able to help them to analyze the way of how they use energy. Yeah,
okay.
probably in the morning time, in the night time, or during the different seasons, peak and the low seasons. So after we analyze it, then we can help them to do some benchmarking about
Mm,
which month you're doing well, or which month you're doing have a lot of different energy consumption or low energy consumption, and how do you benchmark yourself with your similar industry players and so on. So that's how we got this kind of the inspiration, and then we create this software. And I would say today, this software that how we pivot into digitalization in energy industry, I would say is working quite well. A lot of people, especially this year, because of COVID, a lot
mm,
of people start to look into how can I digitalize my business operation. And the energy part is always a place that not much people to work on that. And that's why when we come out with this software, the solution, and people are able to download at this app store and also the Android platform. So a lot of people they start to have a lot of this inquiry, and then they start to monitor because, as I mentioned, in this year is quite a critical year for a lot of business owner, and the more they can control and also monitor their energy consumption, it will be better for them to go into energy saving. So what we are doing is we are capture all the data, and then we have this machine learning, which is the AI, to
mm,
analyze the building energy consumption, and we are going to help them to save energy by changing some of their energy production, or it could be like changing the aircon, like have people
mm,
in the room or no people in the room. How can we regulate the aircon consumptions in a smarter way? Yeah.
mm.
So
And
in
is
short,
this
helping them to achieve the smart energy saving.
mm, and this dashboard model is something that is can be utilized if you install the whole solar system in your homes or your offices, right?
Oh yeah, I would say it's come with solar or without solar. Actually, we open up for
Right.
yeah,
Oh, okay. So people can actually subscribe to that dashboard or that software first, and then if they like it, then they can slowly install stage by stage.
exactly.
Oh, okay, okay. That's something that's very, very interesting because these days people just want to have that, they want to monitor, they want to know what else they can do
Exactly.
from this data that is at hand, right? Um, Facts, the kind of the unprecedented times that we are living in, it's very challenging. You also put it very rightly. COVID is impacting a lot of businesses. How has it been for Plus Solar? It seems like with COVID, people are, waking up and realizing that, hey, we actually have to do more for sustainability because it actually provides more resilience to our business. How has it been like? Have you been, for Plus Solar as well as businesses that you have been engaging with, what is the word on the ground? And for this year, 2020 and 2021, what is your forecast like?
Mm. I would say this year actually is a year that quite tough for a lot of different industry.
Mm,
However, I would say quite lucky that clean energy because it's really affordable. So what I
mm,
observe right now for those bulletproof industry, which is their industry actually are not really impacted by COVID. Actually, they have a lot of great demand to go for clean energy, go for smart energy saving. So actually, I would say this year in terms of our this rooftop business for commercial and also industrial building business, actually we have some quite a significant growth compared
mm,
with last year. Yeah. So the only disruption that we are facing by early of this year is because of MCO. That's why we all couldn't go out. But right now, CMCO somehow, yeah, it's so far so good. We still can run the business as usual. Just we
mm.
need to get our colleagues out there to really be careful. Yeah, the
Yeah.
safety first, SOP we have to follow. Yeah. So I would say this year in clean energy business is pretty good. A lot of business, a lot of people, they really have a lot of this awareness if compared with
Mm,
before.
okay. So with COVID, people are slowly expediting, right? Like you mentioned, people are expediting their
Yeah.
digitalization efforts. in terms of clean energy, also people are realizing we need to do more, not only for
Exactly.
ourselves but also businesses. What are the projects you are currently working on and which you would like to be part of in the future?
Okay, I was still saying that the project which I'm working on right now, something really keep us excited as is really a form.
Mm,
Yeah, because the whole energy industry, right, is going through a different stage of transformation.
okay.
The first stage is about the infrastructure transformation, which you will see a lot of these coal-fired power plants has really slowed down.
Mm,
A lot of clean energy like solar power plant is building up. So like building as well. So a lot of infrastructure transformation is happening right now. And after all the infrastructure get ready, then the next will be the digitalizations. It's just like whole evolution for Uber, for
mm,
Airbnb, and so on. We have car, then we have this Uber
yeah.
platform. Once we have this property, then we have Airbnb there. So for in energy industry, right? Actually, the most important thing is to change a lot of infrastructure as much as possible, which is our main business right now that we are still running it as usual. However, how can we really much growing ahead than other people? It's about the digitalization
Mm,
part. So the digitalization part is something really keep us really excited because first of all we have to think about the architecture about the whole this ecosystem that how are we going to design the whole digitalization program, the whole ecosystem. We do a lot of survey with our client to understand what's their needs,
mm,
what's really benefit for them, what they like, what they don't
mm,
like, and also I would say and how to convince and also to influence more people to go for this digital platform in energy industry. The whole process a little bit similar as how we started solar in many years back.
yeah.
That we need to create more awareness to bring people to really able to embrace the new technologies. Yeah,
Mm,
but I would say this year actually right now, as what you mentioned, there's a lot of people started to embrace a lot of different change, and the speed of adapt the change is also much better than before. So that's why for me the future is still very positive. Yeah,
mm.
and this is one of a I would say it's a big project that keep us really excited.
People are more adaptable than we give ourselves credit for, right?
Exactly.
Where would you like to see the clean energy space be in the next 5 to 10 years? Where would you like to see Malaysians um, being more receptive towards clean energy? Where would you like to see it?
Okay, I would say I would like to see the whole energy industry in Malaysia is
Mm,
going to liberalize someday in the
okay.
future. Yeah. So in that situation, actually, it's really decentralized. Actually, right now we are moving towards to that directions. So
So
everyone you
we're on
can
the
have
right
your own.
track.
Exactly, because each
Okay.
of us, instead of we buying the electricity from the national, the energy company, we can
Okay.
produce our own energy. So it's a kind of
Mm,
this decentralizations. Yeah, we are having our own right to create our own power. So in the future, the whole platform, plus with the digitalization platform, we are able to see something more interesting in the next few years. Which is something that I really hope this will happen in Malaysia, and this is something already happened in other different countries.
mm,
So the first thing first is about the energy trading platform. So the whole concept is just like, for example, like you are staying in condominium, and then
mm-hmm.
there's a shopping complex like IKEA.
Okay.
It's just somewhere around you, and then they are building up solar system on their roof,
Okay.
and they produce a lot of this surplus energy. So from you, who are staying in condominium that you don't have roof, but you can subscribe the solar energy from them. You can buy the energy from them.
Is this something that's already being carried out in other countries?
Yeah, in a lot of these pilot project, in a lot of small scale kind of testing,
Oh,
yeah. So in
wow.
Malaysia, yeah. So the whole concept is we all can purchase energy from anyone who are the power plant generator. It could be small power plant generator or let's say the big power plant generator. So we call this platform as a peer-to-peer energy trading platform. Yeah. So I believe this definitely it will be the future trend. It's just in Malaysia right now, we still have to look into the policy, the regulation, and also on the commercial part, how to work the things out. So after we have all these things right, and the whole energy industry is going to be very interesting as in, beside the P2P energy trading, what I foresee is on the vehicle side, we have more people to use EV as well.
Mm,
So when have more EV is going to run across around the, I mean, on the road at the night time when all the EV is going to park and all charge your energy, the battery storage it could be another source of different energy source as well. It could be pumped back to the grid to more people to use the
mm,
energy. Yeah. So I would say the whole energy landscaping, it will be very interesting and very exciting that time. Yeah, which you can buy the power from me, I can buy the power from you, and then you can monitor your energy consumption on the same day. What's the high, what's the low? How do I going? How are you going to trade it? Yeah, and also like some of these carbon, this trading,
Mm.
this renewable energy carbon tax on those trading. It could happen as well in Malaysia because this is everything that already happened in a different country in overseas. Yeah.
Would you like to predict, like in Malaysia, would you like to predict in how many years would we embrace this peer-to-peer energy trading?
Yeah,
Then
I
you know,
hope.
in 10 years time, then it will be like, hey, you know what, facts called it.
Yeah, I hope probably in the next 3 to 5 years. Yeah,
Wow,
because right
okay,
now, yeah,
it's not too far.
I hope it could be much faster as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's really also depends on the Malaysia, the government, their policy as well. It's something very
Mm,
important. Yeah. So that's why I would say we just get ourselves ready to make
mm.
sure we bring a lot of more awareness to the people, to the public there, to really embrace such a change. Then the rest, I think, yeah, we are going to go through and also to achieve that point. Yeah.
What would your advice be to young people who would like to explore the renewable energy space?
Okay, I would say if let's say any young people would like to explore to the
Mm,
renewable energy space, the best thing is always beside your own study, just I would say just get yourself to join in the industry in any type of a company, from
mm,
upstream to downstream, to really experience it, to really feel it. Yeah, so that's always the best way. So I would say a lot of our learning, especially what I really reflect and gain, is always from experience learning.
yeah,
Yeah, because I'm a person who like to read a lot of different books. However, what I found out is the book, what they say about the theory and also the actual work, what kind of things really running. There's always a gap in the middle as well. Yeah.
yeah,
So our own personal experience is something very important. So for
yeah,
those youngsters, yeah, I would advise you all just join a renewable energy companies or join a conference as well. Whatever you can do, just experience that.
yeah. Experience informs, sound judgment, sound decision making,
Mm-hmm.
right? What do you think are important skill sets and characteristics that, or traits rather, that young people should have in order to both be in the renewable energy space and for those who want to start their own business?
Mm. Okay, I would say resilience is something very important. It's just like
Mm.
our company, in most of our company final interview, usually we would like to ask the candidates to do a PowerPoint presentation slide to talk about their life story.
Oh, people that you interview at your company.
Exactly, exactly, exactly.
Wow.
Usually this is a final, I mean the final interview, yeah, somehow, sometimes I will sit in. So they need to come up with a PowerPoint slide to talk about their life story. So it's the kind of session for us to assess whether is that a culture fit candidates.
Mm,
Yeah. So from the life story, right? I always appreciate those candidates, right? Having a lot of great challenge, the
mm,
trouble, and then they really break down, and then they really screw up in their life. And I really enjoy and see how they rebound back
mm,
because not everyone will have this kind of ability to face all the challenge in their life. And in our company, actually, we have a lot of these youngster who have this characteristic. That's why they are really. I would say a lot of people they say the millennials is quite difficult to handle stress, and I would say
mm,
it really depends on their life experience. Some of those
mm,
youngster with a different life experience who face a lot of challenge in the past and they never give up. They're really able to suit up again to continue to fight. These are those hunger and the fighting spirit of a candidate that I like, and this
mm,
actually apply in across different place in beside in a workplace as well. They can
mm.
be an entrepreneur as well because in entrepreneur life, right? I would say there's a lot of changes, especially this year. Yeah,
Yeah.
this year actually a lot of us actually we face a lot of different changes. The context itself is just like 3 years. I mean, whatever will happen in 3 years or 5 years, it will all happen in 1 year. So once we have this resilience, we are agile enough and able to face a lot of different challenge. Then I think as an entrepreneur, then we all are able to really have a strong determination to move forward from phase to phase. Yeah, because the determination is very, very important as an entrepreneur. Yeah, because
Mm,
along the way, if let's say we can't really stand for those challenge, yeah, then I mean you are a leader, and
mm,
everyone are waiting for you. So how can you really bring the whole team to move forward
yeah.
with under the stress with a lot of this challenge? Yeah, so yeah, this is a part of characteristics that I think is very important for
Mm.
everyone.
Biggest challenge that you as an entrepreneur had to face and Plus Solar as a company had to face?
What's the biggest challenge? Okay,
Mm.
I would say in terms of a company itself, definitely it will be about, and also a person I would say quite similar, which is the
Okay.
biggest challenge. I will always say this is ourselves. I mean, the biggest obstacle is always ourselves. How can we really evolve from the yesterday of ourselves to today or to
Biggest
tomorrow?
obstacle must be yourself. Okay,
Yeah,
so basically you
ourselves.
have to be your worst self critic.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay.
Just for example, like let's say as an entrepreneur that I started a business as a startup, then we grow into SME, and right now we are mid-tier company and moving towards to a corporate. So the mindset of the founder is very important. That
Okay.
the startup mindset, like we have a few people there, and then when we grow into SME and become a mid-tier company and move into corporate, somehow the way of how we lead the company will change, the system, the regulation in the company, it will change. So if let's say a lot of business there, what I found out, it will get stuck at somewhere. It's because we as a founder, our mindset, we couldn't evolve, we couldn't jump out from our comfort zone. So what really bring us to build our this um, great result today? It could be the biggest obstacle that stop us to move forward.
Mm.
Yeah. So we always will get stuck because of the legacy that we create, and we enjoy it. Then we will get stuck into that because that will become our comfort zone. So this apply to the company and also to the personal level as well. So that's why this is something that I always challenge myself and also my team and also my partners. We all always challenge ourselves. How can we really do it very differently for the new different decisions, for the new different business that we can have a different decision making. The way of how we approach can be very different. Yeah, the way of how we think about it, it could be very different. So, so in order how to resolve all these challenge is, I mean, for myself is I have a lot of these great mentor and also the coach and also the friends in the business world and also in the corporate world, which have a lot of this experience sharing. Yeah, so
Mm.
which I learned from all these great people, and I
Mm.
always remind myself that yeah, don't just get stuck into my own comfort zone. Yeah, so I'm a
Mm.
person who always screw myself and also to push myself to the limit. Yeah.
Mm.
So breakthrough is something that we have to always experience this. Then we only can jump out from what I mean from our comfort zone.
To do that, right, you need to have, I can only imagine, you need to have that complete honesty with yourself. You need to have a lot of self-awareness and the ability to be transparent with yourself. Have you ever had to, in that 8 years of running Plus Solar with your two co-founders, did you ever have to have that difficult conversation with yourself?
Yeah, always, always.
Mm.
Yeah, that's why I quite agree with what you say. The self awareness is one of a very important this the element and also a factor for a person in order to go through a lot of different stages of personal growth. So if we can't really put down our own ego,
Mm.
then we always will get stuck on that. So how can we really be transparent, be vulnerable enough? This is very important. Be
Right.
vulnerable to face whatever we are not doing well or whatever we do well. Be transparent to be really real to ourselves. I would say this is very important. Yeah. Then I would say if let's say we really put our ego aside, when we really open up to embrace everything, I mean, in our life, and we follow the flow and then we set a goal, then yeah, I would say somehow the whole journey, some of the magical moment, it will happen. Then
Mm.
we started to see a lot of different changes. People surround us when they see we really let go a lot of this so-called the eagerness or so on and so on. Then we started will get a lot of people trust, and that's how we all can move forwards. And I mean, same as me and also my partner, somehow we would direct tell each other, I see you get stuck over here, probably you get stuck over there. Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, let's
So
move
that's
on.
complete honesty. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very important.
Do you think that it's smoother in your partnership because you were friends first?
I would say depends. Someone say
Okay.
if you want to screw up your friendship, just start a business together.
That's what I've heard too.
Exactly, exactly. So I'm quite blessed that three of us, we do have a very similar value. Yeah, the
Okay.
core value that we believe is very similar. and also the
Mm,
company mission also quite aligned with our personal missions. Yeah.
mm,
So I would say this is something that really guide us. And the other one is really we really understand each other's strength, and we do understand each of us, right? We could really shine in some certain time. And then if let's say each of us, we can't really doing well. I mean, each of us we have our this dull period or also peak periods. So how can we cover out each other instead of
mm,
blaming each other?
mm,
This kind of trust, I would say, is very important. How can we really hold our hand strongly, hand in hand together, to go through a lot of different obstacle in the company path and also in our personal path? Yeah.
mm.
So actually, this doesn't just apply to me and my co-founder. Actually, this also apply with my bunch of my colleagues as well. Yeah.
Okay. We've got Jade Wong, hi Ko. She says hi Ko. We've got a fun question here from Jonathan, who would like to know how the name Facts came along. I know you shared with me that your friends say that Facts is an after 5 p.m. name.
Oh yeah, because my Chinese name is Chuanzhen. So Chuanzhen in Mandarin actually means fax machine.
Is it?
Yes, 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 yes,
Wow,
yes.
interesting, interesting. Yeah, but it's very cool name. Facts, tell our audience where they can find out more about you, more about Plus Solar, amazing um, efforts and amazing projects that you're working on, especially now that Plus Solar is on this digitalization journey, empowering customers to take control of their energy usage. Where can they find out more about you and more about Plus Solar?
Yeah, definitely. I would say everyone there, you all can find out more about myself and Plus Solar at our website, which is
Mm,
www.plus-solar.com.my, and also our Facebook. Yeah, because we constantly we will update a lot of different news and also a different this story and also the information around to the people.
mm,
Yeah.
okay. All right. Any last words, Facts, before we close this up? Any last words about your outlook for the energy industry and for young people out there?
Okay, I would say the future is always full of a lot of uncertainty.
Mm,
So instead of spending our time to worry about the future or keep thinking what will happen in the future, I would say right now one of my biggest great experience is how can we really spend our energy and focus on present. Yeah, be really present, be really focused on what we can do now, and the present is the biggest gift for us. Yeah, that's
mm.
a right moment for us to decide and also to shape the future. So just be present and be focused. Yeah.
I really love that because I really have to mention this, this year there's so many people who are going through a lot of anxiety because of the uncertainty. Many people are just worried about what the future will hold because they don't even know what next week will bring, let alone next few months or next year. So I really like what you said about, just be focused, be clear, and be present in the moment. So there you have it, folks. Wise words from Fexco, co-founder and CEO of Plus Solar. And also, his advice to young people is allow yourself to be the biggest obstacle because only then can you be resilient. Right, Fax?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Fax, for your time. I really appreciate this conversation. I've learned so much. Thank you for sharing your story and your journey with us.
Yeah, thanks a lot for your time as well. I really enjoyed this conversation with you in this morning.
Yeah, likewise. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning into another episode of Why People Do What They Do. You've heard it from Faxco. Please look him up and look up Plus Solar on their social media channels, on their Facebook, Instagram, and news about Plus Solar. A lot of interesting projects that is about to come. Stay safe, everyone. And if you like content that we are developing, go to www.wpdwtd.com. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. Thank you, everyone. Stay safe. Bye bye. Bye, Fax.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.